Y'all know I had to come through, right? Y'all know I had to come through. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, I need y'all to fall through in here. Fall through. Come through. We talking about it. Seasons in the books. Seasons in the books. That's it, guys. That's it for the season. But we're just getting started. We're just getting started. Where do we want to start this live at? Where do we want to start this thing at? So check it out. Um, trying to flip my camera. Okay, so check it out. First things first, right? Congratulations to Don Staley. Congratulations to the South Carolina Gamecocks. Um, I just want to say you guys were great. You played great. Um, you deserve this championship. You earned it. Make no mistake. South Carolina, they wanted revenge, and they got it. South Carolina completes the revenge tour. I thought that Don Staley is. I think that Don Staley is a coach that is more than a coach. She's truly a life motivator. She's a great, great um, human being. She's a master class. She's a classy person, and she just coaches up her players the right way. And I tip my cap to South Carolina and the coach because Don Staley's post game speech was something to marvel at. Love a God fearing woman. Love a true motivator. She's just a brilliant mind for the game. She's cut from that Geno tree, Pat Summit tree. And I have to start with that. I have to start with congratulating Don Staley, who put the work in, motivated her team to get back to the Final Four. And um, just ever since I become a Leah Boston fan, I got nothing but the utmost respect for South Carolina. Um, am I a fan? No. Will I ever be? No. But my favorite player is Asia Wilson. She's a former South Carolina Gamecock, and I just have to give it up. I gotta go ahead and just give it up. They got the athletes. They're unselfish. They share the ball well. They move the rock. They play right. They play the game the right way. And look, guys. I mean, it's been a great year. It's been the most epic and wonderful year to be an Iowa Hawkeyes fan. Once again, Caitlin Clark has put on quite a performance all season long. She's done so much for this game of women's basketball, and we definitely have to give nothing but praise and honor to Caitlin Clark for just how great she's been for the game. Now, I'm just looking at, of course, the final score, watch the game. I know we got off to a quick start, and Daniel says he was surprised Carolina won. Wow. I always felt we would be fighting up the hill in this one. And before I even talk about the game, once again, one final cap tip in and salute to South Carolina, to the Gamecocks, to the fans, to the players, to the coaches, to Don, to the assistant coaches, to the players like Camilla, Raven, Bree Hall, who else? Tessa Johnson, who has become one of my favorites. I tip my cap to Tessa Johnson. Um, this is really a fun team. Tahina Pow Pow. Um, I actually embrace watching them at least 9 to 10 times this season. So I won't pretend to act like I don't know about South Carolina. I knew they was truly dangerous, talented team. Also, shout out to Malaysia Full Wiley, as well as Tessa and Ashton Watkins, because this team they were on a mission. And if my Hawkeyes had to lose to somebody, I'd rather it be this team than anybody else because they carry themselves classy, and it's truly a great team coached by a legendary coach. Now, guys, as we transition off into talking about Iowa, um, tremendous season. Had to let the defeat sink in a little bit, but the difference between this year and last year Last year, I wanted no parts of watching LSU celebrate. Um, I'm not this huge LSU hater, but I don't personally, I don't like LSU. I'm not a big Mulkey fan, and so plus we weren't in that game. We truly just weren't in the LSU game. This was a game nobody even had us in, and we actually fought hard. We responded. We were resilient. We gave it everything that we had, and so I didn't have a problem with watching a post game celebration. Watching Don talk to what's her name, Holly Rowe, talk to Holly Rowe, and I just didn't have a problem with watching them celebrate because this team is class personified. So we lose to a really awesome squad, and Iowa fans, if you're watching this on playback or if you pop in the chat, look, it's been a tremendous year. We have nothing to hang our heads over. We have nothing to feel bad about. We know that this is Caitlin Clark's last game, and rightfully so. I think I want to pick my words wisely. I think Caitlin Clark is truly, truly a great player. Caitlin Clark she's phenomenal for what she's done for the game and how great of a player she is. But I also want to add emphasis to the fact that Caitlin has much room for growth. She has room for growth. Obviously on both ends of the court. Defensively, it's going to have to be a challenge that she's willing to take on. It's unfortunate, but the game of basketball and sports in general, it's not just about how you lose, but it's also about how you win. And it's also not always about how you win. It's also about how you lose too. And I thought the players handled it well, even in defeat. I got some press conferences that I still need to watch that I haven't watched yet. Again, Don tipped her cap to Caitlin. I thought that was amazing. Sydney Affolter, she really grew up this season in terms of stepping into the lineup, being brilliant for us. And guess what, guys? I got. I finally, now that our season is over, I can finally say I can put together grades. I can finally put together the grades for this team. Finally. And hopefully I don't mess that up anymore. Colleen, you says, I'm not impressed by a 6'7" player throwing up 4-foot shots. Not good basketball. Yawn. Um, yeah, she's gonna be challenged at the next level. Camila Cardoso is definitely gonna be challenged at the pro level. She has gotten a little bit better in terms of making her bunnies, her close shots, but she definitely needs to continue to evolve her post game. And you know, you can't really teach 6'7". It's unfortunate. We didn't have anybody her height to defend her. We didn't have an answer truly for Cardoso. I thought Hannah gave a valiant effort. Um, Again, I'm proud of our players. I do realize that we were outscored 37-0 in bench points. That was pointed out to me by South Carolina friends. And it's hard to take the fact that you don't get any bench points. But I mean, what can I say? Lisa Bluter, she went to the bench a couple of times, but we just didn't get any contribution from the bench. And South Carolina has one of the greatest benches there is. I knew when I knew when Don put the bench players in that this game would only get more competitive. So, shout out to them for just having a great all around team. And if nothing else, again, I'm proud of how we fought. It took a little bit for me to come on just because I was like, I did watch some of the post game celebration, which of course, like I said, was different than last year. I didn't want anything to do with watching LSU win, but seeing as though this was Caitlin Clark's last time um, playing, at the collegiate level, I just wanted to just soak it all in. Let's see here. Caitlin Clark finishes with 38-5. in her final legendary collegiate career game. Um, Wait a minute. I'm supposed to be seeing game stats here. Tessa Johnson. I'm supposed to be seeing the actual game stats. No, 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 not this. I'm not looking for this. That's not what I'm looking for. Like, hold up a second, guys. This is crazy. This is bonkers. Hold on, just a sec, guys. Okay, here we go. This is crazy. Let's see here. Box score. Here we go. Let's look at box scores, guys. Let's look at box scores. If you guys can see with me. Caitlin Clark shoots 28 times, 10 field goals, 5 for 13. Efficiency-wise, that's going to improve in the WNBA. She got to the free throw line early. That was that hot first quarter. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to get back to the free throw line. She finished with 30, 5 assists. That's not normal for Caitlin in terms of assists. Hannah Stokey, relatively decent game, 11 points, 4 for 8. What else? What else? We want to look at Kate Martin, 5 for 13. She also shoots 5 for 6, 16 points. Will Kate Martin have enough to become a WNBA player, or is her career finished as well? I think we'll see. We just didn't play the bench. I mean, look at this. Addison O'Grady, right? 13 minutes. Kylie Furback, 5 minutes, right? 3 shot attempts. That's not enough. Shows me that Coach Lisa Bluter doesn't truly trust the bench. She doesn't. I mean, come on now. And then you look at well, I mean, it is the championship game. We can't complain about minutes played. But the 10 for 28 is definitely going to improve when Caitlin goes to the Indiana Fever. Her shot selection is going to have to improve at least a little bit. Yeah. What else? What else can we see? We didn't share the ball enough for me. It doesn't look like we were moving that ball enough. It was nice to get the 12 points from Sydney. Again, we were just getting out rebounded. We're getting killed. Let's look at that. I'm not going to look at the game stats yet. I dropped it. I'm not going to look at the game stats. I'm going to look at South Carolina. I'm going to look at their box score. Let's look at South Carolina's box score really quick. Let's look at the rebounds. Look at this. This is insane. Okay, obviously she's 6'7", but Camila Cardoso, future up and coming WNBA draft pick. Camila Cardoso, 17 rebounds. Chloe Kitts, 10 rebounds. Where's Ashlyn Watkins? Oh, Ashlyn only grabbed 5. I thought Ashlyn had at least 9. But look at this: 4-4-4. Malaysia Fulwiley, Fagan with 4 boards. Tessa Johnson, 4 boards. Tessa Johnson, she can ball, 19 points. This is basically Iowa Hawkeyes and the Bruins channel, but we're gonna have to talk a little bit more about Tessa Johnson. Tessa Johnson, truly a standout tonight. 7 for 11, 3 for 6, 19 points. Tahina Powell, she had it going from the three-point land. She just was very efficient tonight. And even though Raven Johnson missed all 4 threes and shot 1 for 11, she did have 5 rebounds, 3 assists. It's a team effort. It's like Don Staley said, if you want to score 25, 30 points a game, go play somewhere else. If you want to win championships, come here. And, that's a testament to a great coach. I mean, how great would Dean Smith have been if he would have just allowed Michael Jordan to just score 1,000,000 points? Obviously, Caitlin Clark, to talk about Iowa, she has to put up the points. What's going on, Tom? Thomas, y'all still playing? I'm going to come over there in a little bit. S. God, what up? What up, S. God? Hey, I told you I'm true to this. Not new to this, S. God. I told you I'm here. There is no fair weather fanning going on over here. What's good, bro? South Carolina outscored, 37-0. Yeah, I already ran that one on down. Damn, Sox won 12-2. Y'all played Anaheim, right? I think y'all played Anaheim. And y'all bats came out to play today. You said Tessa Johnson. I just talked about how I need to talk about Tessa Johnson a little bit more. Tessa Johnson is the truth. For Wiley was doing her thing today. Hey, the first thing I did here was give Don Staley her props and give South Carolina their props. First thing I did on other forms of social media, give Don Staley her props. Just posted a short little video, like a 50-second video about Don Staley. Great speech. Then she also talked about how, thank you to Caitlin for what she's done for the game and just what she's gonna do for the WNBA. So I thought it was really nice to hear that from Don. Um, they was just rebounding, and they killed us in the bench points, man. Like, it didn't seem like we had a bench today. What's going on, J Spot? What's going on, J Spot? Yeah, congratulations to you guys. Um, y'all earned it. Revenge tour all season, undefeated. I gotta give y'all nothing but respect and praise. Cause look, y'all never folded. Y'all got close to getting an L, but you guys never took an L. You never folded. Resilient group, coached by a masterful coach, a masterclass of a coach. You guys are unselfish. You move the rock. Tessin Johnson could easily be a player that can take over for you. She could be a big superstar. But, if it's going to happen, it's probably going to happen at the next level because Don believes in true team basketball. And that's something that my Hawkeyes, they're going to learn. They're going to learn that. Definitely going to learn that and figure that out as we go, as we move ahead. Um, I'm looking forward to talking more and more about this team. I think it was a great season for us, an iconic season. Kaylin finishes up an iconic career. Of course, it doesn't end with the championship, but you know what? I've stressed so many times that some great players, there's tons of great players that just don't get a championship. And, it's a team game. Ultimately, it truly is a team game. And I think being an Iowa fan, there's times I got caught up in a moment where seeing just how great of an offensive player she was that I thought she could carry us over the cliff to the title, and she almost did. But today we ran into a team that was just better, and I'm proud of the fight because we didn't go out there like last year and just get pounded relentlessly. We definitely showed up to fight, and I'm definitely proud of the team. Jay, you said Dawn is a player's coach. So many players love her because she is the person she is. Yeah, yeah. My a couple of family members were so happy. I was like, man, y'all betrayed me, but I guess they going for South Carolina, and I don't mind that. A lot of people wanted to see Don get this, and yeah, I watched the post game last year. I didn't watch the post game when LSU won, when they celebrated. I ain't want nothing to do with it, but I'm proud of South Carolina for completing the revenge tour and just coming back from where they were. They fought so hard. We won the last time around, but a great team, you can't beat a great team every time. So, I have to again, I have to tip my cap. Probably I've done it a lot of times, put it in different platforms of social media, on Facebook, on YouTube, on IG. But I just want it to be known that I'm a lose classy as well. I mean, I could be better. Tons of people are better. LSU fans was better when J Spot when they lost to Iowa. But I don't really want to be bitter. It's no place for that in our game. Truthfully, it could be hurt. You could be upset when your team lose, but to be bitter, to start mess, to put out incendiary posts, to make dumb videos or to make stupid tweets. I don't think there's no place for that. I don't think it's a place for that ignorance in the game. And we're trying to grow this game, and it's just literally no place for that. Or I think I heard you were on Hawkeye's Pocket. Jay, I've been everywhere. I truly have. As I attempt to, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I'm gonna start putting myself out there even more and more as I go forward. as I continue to try to grow the channel and as I continue to talk Hawkeyes during the all season. I always say, if you're rolling with me, roll with me. If people want to jump off, they could jump off. Somebody said, I think you're gonna switch teams next season. I told people I'm true to this, not new to this. I'm not a fair weather fan. I'm in this. If I was a fair weather fan, I don't think I would be sitting here right now discussing post game, giving credit to South Carolina, getting ready to talk about Iowa a little bit more, talk about a wonderful season that it has been. Nah, we don't run just because we lost. Real fans don't run just because we lost. True fans don't hide out just because we lost. Now, I wasn't in Cess Talk Sports chat to congratulate her, but I made the post. And to me, that's all that matters. I made the post congratulating Cess Talk Sports, that's Cess, and congratulating Jay from the J Spot. My friends on Facebook congratulated them. Friends on Twitter congratulated them. Those are that South Carolina fans. So yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I just don't. Kyra said, sorry for your loss, OG. Yeah, I'm good, Kyra. Um, I put it to you like this. I just talked to a bunch of Iowa Hawkeye fans in the Facebook group, and I said, hey, there's no team I'd rather lose to than South Carolina. There's not a better, classier coach that I would rather go and take the L to. Go down to the tree, in the words of Coach from Cess Talk Sports. Shout out Coach Rowe. For real, shout out J Spot. Shout out Quita Love Sports. Shout out to J. Jordan, Liberty fan. And shout out to everybody that's been showing me love since I've been rocking on YouTube with the Hawkeyes, the Bruins, and the Aces. We almost coming up on a year. It'll be a year, April 3rd, that we started. Look, I told you guys I got something coming. And I'm going to start jumping in front of the camera a little bit more. We're going to get more detail with our videos. We're going to continue to break down things just because the season has ended. Look, Aces season ain't here yet. Caitlin Clark with the FIBA season is not here yet. But we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to talk women's hoops. I got regular season grades to do, postseason grades. I got a lot to talk about for the Iowa Hawkeyes. We got to talk about this roster. We got to talk about the departure of Caitlin Clark. Not all on this video. No. But yeah, we ain't going nowhere. Somebody asked me earlier, about an hour ago, they said, who's your next team? I said, Hawkeyes. For real. I mean, that's just what it is. But I will say this, I like these South Carolina players. All season long, I've been impressed with Tasha. All season long, I've been impressed with Malaysia. All season long, I've been a fan of Tahina. Chloe Kitts was the first South Carolina player to caught my eye with her game. She's loaded with potential. I was surprised that Dawn would start her today. She started her. It ended up working out after initially it looked like it wouldn't. I think Camilla's game has grown so much. Looking forward to seeing her on the next level. As I jump over to Iowa, look at these game stats right now. What do you mean we can't find any more info? They talking crazy, but talking about we can't find any more info. Well, I know the Iowa players in my head, so let's go from there. I want to say that I want to just say salute to Gabby Marshall, Kate Martin, Molly Davis, the senior who that was a tough moment, but I was glad to see Molly Davis one more time. I don't think it's really hit me yet. Not on this video, that a lot of our players is are on their way out the door. Kate Martin, I'm just happy to have seen her play so many years. She's been amazing. A 6-year senior. She leaves it all out there on the floor each time. It's gonna be tough. This is not really the video for me to truly want to break it down how I feel about our departing seniors. But as I think about the roster, I just want to salute Kate Martin and Gabby Marshall, of course, Caitlin Clark and Molly Davis, and also Sharon Goodman, seniors on the team that'll be on their way to their next walks of life. Obviously, the WNBA is going to happen for Caitlin Clark. I think it's a small possibility it's going to happen for Kate Martin. For Gabby Marshall, she's obviously moving on. She's got her life already planned after basketball. But I thought she was an amazing Hawkeye player. And Sharon Goodman, she as well. She's moving ahead. So I look at our roster, and I truly have some hope. Just how much, we'll talk about that later. But I will say that I'm super proud of all of the players who utilized their opportunities the best. I thought that Kylie Fairback, even though she isn't particularly a player that's going to move the needle, I thought her activity, her ability to occasionally knock down a three, is just something that, she can work on. I think she's a junior. She has one more year. Hannah Stokey has come a long way this season. Again, not really the video for me to talk about the future, but I'm proud of this year's team because we weren't really supposed to make it this far, but we made it this far. And I don't care what people say about the refs helping us. People gonna talk forever. People gonna talk whether you're doing good or bad. We happy that we made it all the way back to the championship. I can't speak for all the Hawkeyes fans, but I'm happy we made it back to the championship game. Yes, Caitlin Clark has went 0-2 in national title games. It's tough. It's tough, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Caitlin Clark, she goes 0-2 in national title games. But for what she has done for this game of women's college basketball, it's unprecedented. And you can't take that away from her. Everybody loves to use rings and things to judge players. Man, shout out to the channel Michael Jordan fans are the worst because rings don't mean everything. We play for rings. I understand that. Rings are what you live for. But it's more to the game than just rings. It's about how you impact the game, how you leave your legacy, how hard you play, the determination, what you do for the people around you, the way you bring your teammates together, what she's done, speaking of Clark, what she's done for Iowa. Yeah, it's about rings to a degree, but it's so much more than that. And like I said before, and I will continue to say, every all-time great can't win a ring. And I'm almost certain. I can't say definitively, but I'm almost certain that at some point, a talent as great as Caitlin Clark, she's gonna win, and it won't be because of her. If she was gonna win in Iowa, it would be because of her. She's gonna win, hopefully with the Fever, but it won't just be because of the Caitlin Clark show. Because Don taught me something. It takes more than one player, and I hope my Bruins and my Hawkeyes learn that. It takes a true team, and we're a tight knit team. We are a true team by every sense of the word, but it takes all of the engine working together, all components. And when you look at South Carolina, everybody works together, everybody's unselfish. And then also, if you look at the defensive side of the ball, if we could have played a little bit better defense, this game could have been that much tighter. Now, I give us credit because we did fight. We did play extremely hard. But defensively, you know that the better team was South Carolina. It's not all on Caitlin Clark, but at some point, for her to reach the next level, for Caitlin Clark to truly reach the next level, her shot selection must improve. And I'm perhaps one of the biggest Clark fans out there, and she doesn't have to improve. She's got to tweak it a little bit. She doesn't have to improve it. Wrong choice of wording. She's going to have to tweak it a little bit. She also is going to have to dial back the complaints. I was saying to myself, I said, Caitlin, you might have to dial back. I said, Caitlin, stop arguing. I felt like a daddy for a moment. I was like, stop arguing, stop yelling, stop looking for the cause, just play. So in that regard, she's going to have to find out how to better pick her spots for when she wants to get upset at the refs. You can't get upset after every play. She's going to have to tweak her shot selection. And as the time goes by, she's going to have to, what's going on, Diddy? Quiet Height, what's going on? I be so involved. Sometimes I be so involved in talking, I be forgetting you guys is commenting, and then sometimes I be looking at y'all comments like, where y'all at? But yeah, Kaylin is going to have to play defense. She is a capable defender. I've come to her defense many of times. She's made big steals, she's made blocks, but she's gonna have to commit to that, and that's gonna be essential to the Indiana Fever long term in terms of wanting to get a trophy, a title, because it's ever so elusive for her. And to be that great of a player that she is, thanks for hitting that like button, y'all. Continue to hit that like button. But to be as great as a player as she is, she's going to need to get her defensive side of the game caught up at least somewhat close to the offensive side of the basketball, because you see what Dawn does at South Carolina. She almost demands that her players play both sides of the ball. And yeah, that was another weakness for us tonight. Let's see if these box scores, they're acting so silly. All I want to do is look at like two more stats and hear this crazy tablet acting like, what's going on, y'all? Diddy Knows Ball says CC reminds me of Luca, same talent. You mean no internet? This thing crazy as I don't know what. CC reminds me of Luca, same talent, same problems. She need a mid. Do she need a mid-range game? Um, Definitely she could. She could use a mid-range game, but Diddy, from the women's side of the ball to the men's side of the ball. Nobody really likes the mid-range anymore. I'd be shocked when I see somebody pull up for some mid-ranger danger. I'd be shocked. Like, I don't see it happen a lot. Like, it only happened a handful of times tonight. I saw Kate Martin. I saw Bree Hall. Only a few players take mid-range shots. That's definitely an area that Kate Martin could definitely explore more. She could definitely go ahead and try to get that going. But I don't I don't know how come it seems like at times she's either too passive, which isn't most of the time, but she's sometimes too passive with the rock, or she's doing too much. Like, there were a couple of calls, I mean, not a couple of calls, a couple of plays down the stretch where she just she didn't look like herself towards the end. I think maybe she was trying to do too much. Um, I always knew we was gonna have to try to play a perfect game tonight. I'm gonna be honest with you. None of the game stats want to come up because that's what I was trying to show y'all really quickly. Look at these damn rebounds. Let's see. Look at these damn rebounds. Diddy, if you still here, you see this disgrace of a discrepancy. It's a 49 rebounds by South Carolina. They bullied us. Man, it was like taking candy from a baby tonight. 25 rebounds for us. We got big body and rolled over. And then it's not just that. Also, where is it at? It ain't on here, but I know it off the top of my head because it sticks out like a sore thumb. 37 bench points, 37 bench points scored by South Carolina. Guess how many we had? Big fat egg. Zero. Zilch. Nada. No bench points at all. Not even a lucky layup. That's a damn shame. And you know what? I blame it on the coach. I like her coach, but she didn't even want to put in. I was like, could you at least put in, what's her name? Taylor McCabe? Could you at least because she can at least shoot the three? Like, Ohio State fan, Clark went off. Yeah, she went off in the first quarter. I thought after the first quarter, they kept her in check to a degree. Did he say Hannah looked intimidated by Cardo? Yeah. I mean, I suppose I would too. I mean, she's 6'2", Hannah 6'2", and Cardoso big 6'7". Yeah, I was saying to myself, the only way we was gonna get some easy buckets is if Hannah was able to break out in transition, and she wasn't able to get out in transition. And then maybe if Hannah would have had an outside shot, she could have lured Cardoso out of the paint. But you gonna leave Cardoso in the paint, you can't shoot. I mean, she would have had 10 blocks. It's nothing that Hannah could really do with her. There is nothing Hannah could do with her. How is South Carolina that good to hear they're undefeated? Yeah, I mean, it's the gold standard. They done only lost 3 games in like 3 years. Or is it 4 years? Dawn Staley, she's a masterful recruiter. She's a mastermind of a coach. And I said to myself, Dawn Staley, I don't know how you stop her. I mean, when she was yelling early in the game, because people were saying that they were giving Iowa too many fouls that they shouldn't have had, that we shouldn't have had. I was hoping Don wouldn't. I was like, please, Don, don't get kicked out the game because she's so good for the game. And I think that if you can't be a opposing fan and humble yourself and admit when the other team has a better day or the better coach, that ain't cool. Who had the most points on SC? Tessa Johnson. Shout out Tessa Johnson. Tessa Johnson out of Minnesota. She's a freshman. Oh, she's going to be a player for years to come. Keep your eyes on Tessa Johnson, Ohio State fan. 1, 2, 3. If South Carolina was playing anybody else, guess what? I would have been cheering for her. I would have been rooting for her. But since they were playing my Hawkeyes, and I'm assuming that you're an Ohio State fan, you guys had a great season as well. It just ended prematurely. But, I again, for the 6th time in this video, I tip my cap. Tip my cap to South Carolina. Um, what else is there to see here? Blocks, who won blocks? They had 8 blocks. We had 4. Again, rebound discrepancy, horrible. Bench points, horrible. What else? Steals? 8 steals. These are kind of close. Total turnovers, 12-9. Yeah. Malaysia. You know who I call Malaysia? I see what you said. Malaysia gonna be Iverson. Malaysia remind me of like Jason Chocolate Williams, um, the white cat on the Sacramento Kings back in the day, who could just do all those fancy things with the ball, passing. He was just like a genius at that. And then also, she gave me like Ja Morant vibes because if you didn't know, she can also dunk, did he? Like real talk. And the way she was boogieing, she just be boogieing on that court, man. Big props to her. If Don ever decides to star her, she can go off. Just imagine if Don was the kind of coach at the kind of university who was like, I'm taking the handcuffs off. She could probably average 20 a night. She could probably average 22 a night. She's a freshman as well. Malaysia, people talk about Juju Watkins and Hannah Hidalgo, and Texas is Madison Booker. But Malaysia is the truth. And, big shout out to her because she's done nothing but continue to work and grind and grind and grind and just continue to just get better and better and better. And like Don said at the end there, I think that the game is still in great hands. I know the game is in great hands. Obviously, you're unlikely to see somebody shooting logo threes like Caitlin Clark, but Malaysia, she's truly nice. And the fans, I hope the fans don't run away. We're gonna find out who's a casual and who's not. And I thought that today's game, I thought it was a great game from both sides, both teams. I like Ja Comp. Her speed and finishing ability is crazy. Yeah, a couple of times, I mean, she was so out of control that it's almost to her detriment, but it's like the more out of control she is, the better she plays. Like it's crazy. She got a nice 3-point shot. Of course, she obviously needs a mid-range game, but she can cut to the rim. She definitely does tricks with that ball. She can get really fancy and freaky with that basketball. Um, she's gonna be the future of women's basketball. just like Juju. Ohio State fan says, yeah, we could have done better. It's fine. I'm worried about Ohio State football. Recruiting is doing fantastic. Transfer portal. Talking about transfer portals, I would better jump in that transfer portal. And then also the football team, I was completely embarrassed by the way that Michigan they just cracked us over our head, the Iowa football. And that was brutal. That was brutal. But yeah, Iowa needs to try to enter the portal. I will tell you guys this, that we got 4 recruits coming next season for Iowa basketball, but only one of them is like top 45, top 50. Yeah, that was bad. And she's dealing with a ACL injury, but she's improving and working her way back. And I'm really huge on this young player that we have coming in as a freshman if she can get healthy. But obviously, there's going to be a big turning over for Iowa because we're gonna lose Kate Martin. Diddy, if you still here, we about okay. So we're gonna lose Kate Martin, the heart and soul of this team. We're gonna lose Caitlin Clark, the reason for almost every season. But I'm not a fair weather fan, so as I always say, I'm rocking with the squad, whether we go 4-28 or 28-4. Then we lose Gabby Marshall with her fantastic defense, Tamley shooting, and Sharon Goodman, who her minutes kind of fell into the doghouse. So it's going to be a different kind of season as we look down the line, but I will address that later. I have faith that we can at least be respectable, but I'll talk more about that at a later date. Again, you want to take things bit by bit. Obviously, the loss of Caitlin Clark would hurt any team. That was bad. Michigan, I think, will struggle badly. Yes, Oregon, or you say Oregon took a commit away from the Buckeyes. We took their running back coach. I'm gonna be looking in. I'm definitely gonna be watching the Colorado bus. I think a lot of us will be seeing how Dion does in year number 2. Definitely gonna be checking out, Colorado. Kate Martin was so underrated. Stokey made a big 3 with CC, in my opinion. Yeah, it's gonna be funny, man. It's gonna be interesting. We either gonna be shocking some people next season, or we gonna be playing bingo, tic tac toe, go karts in the building, bumper cars next season, depending on how we look like. I mean, again, you take Caitlin Clark off of any team, they're gonna suffer. But again, it's been a fantastic year. Can't look down on it. Um, Most teams wish they could get to the championship game even 2 years in a row. This is why I don't feed too much into social media as much as I used to, because I see a lot of stupid, silly comments talking about, well, she lost twice. She can go away. Do people realize what she did for the game? Like Caitlin Clark, as people watching this game, she got my auntie, uncle, let's see, niece, mother, people watching the game that don't watch the game. You got men watching the game that don't watch the game. And it's just a fantastic play at the end of the day, and just the way she just dazzles on the court. So I think she could do the same thing in the WNBA. We're going to see. And, I'm proud to say that it's been a great season, basically calling games, watching games, obviously not calling the games like live streaming, but everything else outside of that. And we really going to find out who's a fan now. We'll be talking more about that, trust me. We're really going to find out who's a fan. And as a person that also is a UCLA Bruins fan, I stress that a lot because people will come to me and say, oh, you just decided you want to be a Bruins fan. I'm like, no. No, hell no. Been a Bruins fan before we even hit the year 2000. So no, no, I don't want to hear that. It's like I don't switch teams because people think that, oh, you just gonna switch teams. I know some people that switch teams, and I say be a fan, whatever kind of fan you want to be. But I'm not gonna be no fair weather fan. If I was a fair weather fan, I'd be talking about, oh, I'm ready to be a South Carolina fan. I'm ready to be an LSU fan. That ain't gonna happen. People are annoying. CC finna make a lot women rich off basketball. Yeah, she about to bring more eyes to the game. Um, she gonna make big money off of this game, provided she play it long enough. I mean, there's more attention on women's basketball than men's basketball. Diddy, bro, I'm about to be back to talking about my Timberwolves in a minute. I don't know. I might I might talk a little playoffs basketball on here too. I might do that, but we definitely gonna stay, focused and locked in as well on the WNBA and I win UCLA women's basketball in college if something happens. But yeah, I've been putting my T Wolves on hold. I've been watching from the standings. That's what I've been doing. My Pacers, I've been watching from the standings. I heard the ticket prices is going up for the Fever. I heard somebody told me about 2 hours ago, ain't nothing left for Fever tickets except for way at the top of the stadium. I'm like, damn. I'm like, it's getting crazy around this piece. I mean, everybody's coming everybody's coming to see what's going on with Caitlin Clark. And lastly, I just want to say, I feel like, man, a player like Caitlin Clark, she loses the championships 2 years straight, and her star can only elevate. Who else can do that? Whose star status is going to elevate and they done lost the national title game? She's just a great player. That's like Stone Cold Steve Austin said. That's the bottom line. She's just a great player. That is the bottom line. So, guys, what do y'all think about um what do you guys think about this season? With South Carolina winning. Were you a South Carolina fan? Who's your team? Who's your team in college, Did he say, I want to see CC when she comes to play my Wings? Are you a Dallas Wings fan? Shout out to what's that girl? Not Satu Sabali. I love Satu Sabali. Man, Satu Sabali can hoop and she look good. But yo, she can definitely ball. I'm trying to Aguma Kwale. Enrique Agumakwale, she can ball too. I hope Maddie Secrets gets more playing time this season. I'm a big Maddie Secrets fan. I think you guys definitely have what it takes to get, but yeah, Enrique, you guys definitely have what it takes to get back to the postseason. Anything less would be a failure. I heard y'all might be trying to look at taking Angel Reese. I think Angel Reese would be better suited in Minnesota or Chicago. Just my humble take. I think Reese should go to. Well, it's not about where she want to go. She gonna go where they draft her unless she pull a Eli Manning. But um, I heard that she could go to Dallas, and I don't know if she would have the playing time that she would need because you guys got Natasha Howard, Satu Sabali. It's gonna be hard for her to get some breakthrough minutes. So I think if she went to the Sky, or maybe because the Sky got a lot of room. I'm not gonna say they have room for young players to play, but it'd be easier for her to get on the court if she was drafted by the Sky. Y'all got 2 top 10 picks. I didn't know that. I thought y'all just had number 7. I thought y'all only picked number 7. I mean, not number 7. My bad. Not number 7. My bad. I think y'all picked 6. But I could be wrong. The mock drafts keep changing, and so many teams have dealt their picks away. But it's going to be an interesting season. Again, salute to a wonderful season from all teams involved. Some people felt like UConn was robbed, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. You play the game, you lose the game, you win the game. Awesome tournament. Juju showed out this tournament. Stanford did great this season. LSU didn't look quite the same in this tournament, but they still made it to the Elite Eight. Shout out to my UCLA Bruins, 2 years straight in the Sweet 16. Proud to see that. Maybe the third time will be a charm next season. Iowa. Who knows if we're gonna retool or rebuild? As long as we fight hard, that's all that matters. Again, I'm proud to see. What you think, Diddy, before I get up out of here? What you think about Don winning that chip, man? You happy for her? Like, even as an Iowa fan, I'm happy. Like, look, check this out, bro. I gotta tell you this story. So I had an Iowa fan come into my how can I put this? I had an Iowa fan tell me that they don't like Dawn. And it's more than one. They don't like Dawn. They don't like who she is. They don't like what she stands for. And I feel like you're entitled to feel how you feel. But just don't come telling me that. Like, don't come telling me you don't like Don Staley. Feel how you feel. But I'm all in on Don Staley. For one, I'm a rock with my sisters. For two, I support a God-fearing woman. For three, she's a legendary coach. She's a masterclass and a brilliant mind. So I don't I don't have to be part of the South Carolina Gamecocks fan base to recognize by observing just how great of a coach that Don Staley is. I don't have time to I don't care where the fans come from, if they my own fan base or not for my own squads. I ain't got time to argue with somebody as great as Don Staley about how, you know, Don Staley is not that. To me, Don Staley is great. I didn't even want to hear Kim Mulkey talk last year when LSU won. But I was just like, you know what, Don's a real one. And, she congratulated Iowa and Caitlin Clark. And I appreciated that. I really did. You say UConn wasn't robbed. They never put their foot on Iowa neck. Yeah, but don't nobody want to talk about that. The fact that they blew a 14. No, it wasn't 14. It was 12. The fact they blew a 12-point lead. Don't nobody want to talk about that. No one wants to talk about how UConn blew a 12-point lead. For real. Man, I'm before I get to the next comment, Diddy, man, this channel gonna blow up, man. I'm gonna have to jump on the show. We gonna have to cross paths, bro. I'm gonna have to come up on the show, dog. Um, probably for, if not for NBA playoffs, um, something WNBA, something. I'm gonna have to pop on the show, bro. It's been too long. Um, I'm continuing to get more and more confident with the channel. I'm on the road to 500. I'm trying to bring everybody that could be behind me up. I'm trying to push the people in front of me harder. I ain't got nothing but love to spread. So the people that's ahead of me, go ahead and do your thing. Seth Talk Sports, Quita Love Sports. Go to their channel, subscribe. I got nothing but love for the people that's got 10 million subscribers, 10,000 subscribers. I don't care who you are. As long as you're a good person. If you're trying to get your sub count up, I'm going to plug you. Hey, y'all, subscribe to Quiet Hype Media. Definitely subscribe to Quiet Hype Media. If you're watching this on playback, if you're in the chat now, if you like sports, get over there and show support. But you said, what else you said? You said, I read that. You said, I fuck with Dawn. Dawn, I just didn't like her trans comment. Hey, they tried to bait her, bro. They wouldn't ask that question. They would not ask that question to a coach of a certain kind of nationality. I don't feel like they would. Why would they ask that to Don? I seriously want to know why they'd ask that to Don. It didn't even have a place, did it? That comment, the transgender comment, like, why? You didn't ask it to Gino. You didn't ask it to Coach Lisa Bluter from Iowa. Like, what are you doing? They could have asked it to Coach Kim Mulkey. I mean, they want to see if they can bait us, see if they can get us to say something crazy that they can use as fuel to run with and start a fire. Seriously, I didn't like the trans comment. I like her since she was on Martin. I heard she was on Martin, and I grew up off of watching Martin. Martin and the Cosby Show was my grandma's favorite show, and I just don't remember it. But Don is true Philly natured, and to be someone to come from a spot, from a place, from a state so rough, you could never tell because she's so classy. You could never tell from which Don rose. And shout out to her fits. Her fits be on top. That's what they call it, Don Drip Staley. Look, we done talked a lot about South Carolina in this video, and I don't mind that at all. But as we close to get up out of here, Iowa, I don't know what we gonna look like next season, but you better believe I'm rocking with the team. Now, I expect UCLA to have a better season, but we gonna get into all that later. But I do expect next season, if nothing else, UCLA is gonna be better than Iowa. I don't know how much better, but when you got talent like Lauren Betts, Kiki Rice, Gabriella Hawkins, I don't see why they wouldn't. But again, I'm not here to count Iowa out. I'm continuing to rock with us. Again, three championship appearances: 1993, 2023, 2024. Couldn't find a way to get it done, but true fans, they rock with their teams, whether they hoisting up trophies or whether they walking through the tunnel with their head down or held high, knowing that they couldn't get it done, but proud nonetheless. And we will continue to talk Hawkeyes, Bruins, and Aces. And look, I appreciate y'all for falling through, for coming through with the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out the door. Catch you guys in a little bit. Peace.